Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Today, so I can pretty much start going at pretty much any time. So we'll clean all that. Today, my special guests are the two owners of Kosmos, which is would you say a custom chicken sandwich shop? Would you like catering, dining?
Yeah.
What's the best way to describe this business? Because I'm blown away by it.
The name is Kosmo's Eatery and Catering.
Okay.
So Eatery is basically when you're coming in, you're grabbing your chicken sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a small, it's takeout, right? There's dine in, but it's pretty tiny, you know. So, but it's the sandwiches that.
Yeah, blown away. So yeah. I'll give a quick rundown of how this whole came to light. I was in getting a haircut at a local barbershop called Invictus. My barber said to me, she said, I was told I was hungry. She goes, oh, there's a great chicken sandwich shop. Go check it out. Best chicken sandwich you'll ever eat. I said, okay. I walked in. I ordered this thing, not knowing what I was going to get. And after that, I was so amazed that all I could do was talk about it. This thing, I don't even know if you can even see it on the camera.
Yeah, hold on.
Because this thing is gigantic. It even has a bite out of it because I shared it with my buddy when he was coming in. But this thing is absolutely fantastic. It's huge. The burger hit the spot. I was hungry. I was full for hours.
We've seen you quite a bit.
And you've seen me quite a bit. I am now a regular. How the hell did this start? And when I saw you, walked in there one day, and I've known you from the past before.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you at the gym, and we have a ton of mutual friends. Mm-hmm. And I saw that you were one of the owners. And I was super interested. Yeah. I just wanted to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
And all it was, how did it happen? How did you start making these gigantic, delicious chicken burgers?
So I can't take full credit for the actual chicken sandwich. I was good friends with the old owners. We've known each other for years. Jordan and I was probably both of our favorite restaurants.
Yeah, I almost live right beside it. I almost ate there every single day for like about 4 years. And then, when I got the opportunity to get in there with Chris, I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's genius. What did you guys do before this?
Go ahead.
I was a real estate agent.
Okay.
For about 3 or 4 years there.
So how long have you owned Kosmos?
Just exactly a year. November 1st.
Okay.
We opened, I think it was December 29th last year.
Just after Christmas.
Yeah, but we took ownership the end of October, I think it was, and then we renovated. We had to put in a new walk-in fridge. We replaced the flooring in there. We just did a lot. We just spruced it up a little bit in there. It was a little. It was supposed to be a turnkey operation. Definitely wasn't turnkey. It took us quite a bit longer than we were anticipating that it was going to take.
Let's talk about that. So why does somebody get into a business where they want to be a restaurateur? Someone who's
it's funny.
It's a lot of work. I see. You're back there. I saw you. Like, I own this place.
Oh, we're working.
And you got stuff in your hands, and you're making food, and you're actually doing the business. Mm-hmm. You don't have people do. How did that, like?
The funny thing is that neither Jordan and I were in the restaurant industry at all before. I mean, I served and I was bartending, when I was going to university, probably a year and a half, something like that. I actually used to work at Boston Pizza for a while. I was like the head bartender there. And then when I lived in Windsor for a while, and I bartended a few different places. But other than that, I don't know anything about the restaurant industry, and neither does Jordan. But we both know business, and we know a good business when we see it. Mm-hmm. And we knew that I had heard that they were selling the restaurant before COVID, and so I don't know about you, but the first lockdown, it was boring. It was just there's nothing going on. I didn't have anything to do. So when they had mentioned that they were interested in selling, I was just ready to be to dive into something full force. And so when this came about, we would have been stupid not to go after the opportunity. Mm-hmm. So they asked me if I was interested, and I jumped at it. I think it was the same. I found out that they were selling the business maybe a week before. I talked to them about it one day. The next day, we closed the deal. So
wow. So what goes into actually purchasing a business from somebody else to get you to it being your own little enterprise?
I think we met up a few different times and discussed, just certain aspects of things. Like they're great guys, by the way. The Demi and Aaliyah, and I'm close with their mother, Effie, mm-hmm. And so they were great through the whole thing. They really walked us through how to get things started, and
they held their hands pretty good in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're taking over the old chef, some of the old staff. We just wanted to keep it basically the same because it's already so well known, and it's a successful business. So we wanted to just kind of hit the ground running, same way that they had. We put some of our own touches on things, and then with the new location, that's we haven't discussed that yet, but we're really going to expand things when that opens up. So
any hiccups?
I mean, I would say.
I mean, that's ballsy to take on a business during a pandemic,
of
right?
course,
especially when the restaurant industry was tackled
Yeah.
the way it was. But your business is not like you walk in, you have a gigantic seating area where there's customers.
No.
Every time I've been, it's been in and out, and there's like crowds of people in and out. They're lining up for these chicken burgers. Uber guys coming in, grabbing bags and bags. It's a non-stop working. It's almost like a factory of chicken burgers.
And that's what we were discussing before things started here. That's about 40% of our business, right? 60% of our business is still catering. So that's the part of the business that a lot of people don't see, right? They come in and they get their chicken burger and they're in a takeout type location, but out the back door is where a lot of the business is happening.
So
right?
how does someone get a hold of you for catering? What's the big catering, like weddings?
So I mean, like during the summertime, on a Saturday we would have 150 to 170 person wedding, plus somebody's 50th birthday party,
bridal showers,
whatever else, right? So I mean, we could be catering 250 to 300 people a day plus the restaurant, right? So yeah, it can get crazy in there, that's for sure. So that's why the future location is definitely.
So tell me about the future location and what about it that made you to push for another location?
So I'm friends with a guy, his name's Craig Hansford. So he was purchasing the old Porsche dealership. Okay, the old Porsche dealership is at 600 Oxford Street.
Yep, west by Oxford in Wonderland.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the address.
Yeah.
So, him and I had been chatting. He loves the restaurant. So, he had approached me about it and said, hey, in the actual Porsche dealership, like the main building there, he's going to put in his real estate firm, Maverick Real Estate. He's going to put in a prestige car wash. So a car wash along the same lines as that, where like a full detail car wash. What else is going in there? World class flooring.
Yeah, flooring store, and then a bud shop.
Yeah, cannabis stores going in there as well.
Yeah.
So he had initially approached us about actually going in that building, right? So even then, I was very interested because that area of town it's probably the most populated area.
Yeah, it's got the best walk score in the city. There's so much people just living right around there.
Yeah, so many sky rises. And,
is that why you chose that location?
Yeah, I mean, number one, just being friends with the guy purchasing the building was a big aspect of it. And I mean, when he had told me what was going in the main building, detail car wash, weed shop, real estate firm, world-class flooring, right? It's so much traffic, right? So we're right. So in being in that main building, I was already interested in it just because of, all the traffic that was going to be coming through. But then as time progressed, he ended up approaching us about the standalone building beside it, which is, what is that? How 600... It's a separate building, but is it the same address?
I think it's the same address still, yeah.
Okay, but so if you're looking at the building from Oxford Street, on the right-hand side, it was the old Hummer.
Yeah, it was a Hummer dealership.
Yeah, Hummer pre-owned building.
Yeah.
So it's not an existing restaurant at all. So I mean, we're completely outfitting the whole building, putting in a new kitchen in the back. We're also going to have and it's going to have two businesses in there as well. So we're going to be Kosmo's lounge and catering, and then also Kosmo's Creamery. So we ended up doing a joint venture with London Ice Cream Company. I don't know if you guys know.
No, this is amazing.
So London Ice Cream Company is they've been around for
35-40 years.
Yeah, it's London's probably the original. I don't know how you.
Yeah, most popular ice cream place in the city.
Okay.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah, the ice cream is fantastic. It's I would say. I personally, I think it's better than Shaw's.
I think it's better than Shaw's for sure. Yeah,
we're partial, but I love the ice cream. So I forget exactly how I went. I think I just went in and approached them and said, "Hey, we're looking at doing something with desserts and things like that. Would you be interested?" They were,
which would go hand in hand with catering.
Yeah.
Which, But the real question is, how the hell are they going to eat ice cream after eating one of these? For dinner?
Well, see, so again, that's what's so great about that whole complex there, right? Because I mean, Craig has already been talking to us about, you know, he wants to do like a detail and dine type of thing, right? So somebody comes through, they get their car detailed, they're sitting there waiting, they go get a chicken sandwich, they get some dessert, you know, they go to the weed shop after, whatever they want to do, right?
It's shop first, get the car
yeah,
detailed,
exactly,
go
right?
eat.
Yeah, just stop, get a pre-roll.
It's a nice combo.
Yeah, exactly. So I couldn't see it losing in that spot. You know, it's just, number one, we needed a bigger kitchen for the catering because it's been an issue.
100%, yeah.
You're right. I mean, right now, if you see our social media, we're almost non-active right now. We're kind of trying to just keep it. I think we have a different issue than other businesses have, because a lot of other businesses, you know, they're advertising, trying to get the business, right, to get the foot traffic. We almost don't want to advertise right now because we almost can't accommodate, right? So
which is a great problem to have.
It's a good problem, right? So we're kind of just, I've hired Damien Box. I don't know if you know him, but he started the Venture magazine.
Okay, yeah.
Remember? So he's going to do all of our branding for the new location, for the ice cream, and take over our social media and all this kind of all these types of things. But we're just not. We're not doing it yet because we don't want to put out too much and overwhelm ourselves, just because we can't handle it almost, right?
Now, was this business already that established before they decided to sell it?
They may have been busier than we.
Yeah, it was already very well established before we got it.
Wow.
Yeah. What they were used to do is, so say how I was saying before, we would have on a Saturday, right? We have a 150 person wedding. You know, they maybe would have 2 or 3 of those in a day, but they would shut down the restaurant, right? So they would shut down the eatery, so you couldn't come in and get your chicken sandwich on a Saturday because they would have so much catering. Well, we don't want to do that anymore, right? We don't. You used to hate it, right?
I'd show up to the door and I'd see people working in the back, but then I couldn't go inside. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
You want your chicken sandwich, right? But they're, you know, it's so we don't want to have the business be like that, where we need to shut down. It just doesn't make that much sense, right? I mean, you do well on a catering, but you're shutting down your main business to do it. So it didn't really make sense. So that's why, you know, we're going to completely outfit a new kitchen. It's going to be, 3 times the size?
It's about 3 times the size, the new location.
Yeah.
So all within a year, you're already talking about a second location.
Yeah.
And neither of you worked in the restaurant industry before.
Yeah. So that's,
apart from a bartender, but that's not really in like on cooking and.
Yeah. So you know, I was the one who initially was approached about purchasing the business, and I brought Jordan in because, you know, him and I have been friends for quite a while, and you know, he's business minded like I am. I think we both have an expansive mindset, right?
Did you guys go to school for business?
No. I actually did.
Okay.
Yeah, I went for business marketing, but I went to school twice. That was just, I went for 1 year and I was over it in 1 year. So I don't think either of us are too big on college.
No.
You know,
which is amazing, because everything you're telling me and everything that you're saying is so business mindset driven, and you're so focused. What kind of hours are you putting in a day on this thing?
It really varies.
Yeah. So I mean, on the weekend it can just be, you know, it's definitely, you know, how they say, you know, it's we don't have a 9 to 5. We have a, you know, from the time we get up to the time we go to bed. It's just you're always, you know, emails. There's a lot of moving parts to the business, right? So I mean, even if we're not in there all day every day, I'm always doing stuff.
There's always something going on. I get a phone call at 9 p.m. The sink's broken. I got to run in there. Just all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
And so what I was going to get into as well was, you know, the reason I brought Jordan in was because both of us are, you know, we're pretty financially stable, so we're focused on putting our profits back into the business, right?
Gotcha.
So that's how we can expand so quickly, because we both have that mindset where we're not trying to take a paycheck right now, right? We want it.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, we truly think it can be like a franchise opportunity down the road, and
100%.
Yeah, we really think that's what's going to happen for our business in the future. So we know we got to grind for the next few years just to get it to that point. You know, a franchise starts by having 2 or 3 locations that are successful, you got to prove out the business, right? Before you get to that level. But we've been, I don't know about you, I've been approached by I don't know how many people about coming in on
100%.
trying to be a partner to expand
Yeah.
to the ETA and wherever else, right? I mean, I'm from I grew up in Chatham, Windsor area.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to go that way with it, maybe put a location Chatham, Leamington, Windsor area. But I think him and I both are we're looking more Toronto,
probably Tri-City, Kitchener, something like that.
Yeah, Kitchener, Waterloo, and then go Toronto way. So
So how does it work with a franchise? When it, like, say you want to sell a piece off of, how does it all work?
So it's still something I would have to learn a little bit more about as well. I mean, we bring in a franchise lawyer and they fully tell us exactly how to do the expansion, right?
Gotcha.
But I think we're both looking at our best strategic partner moving forward to expand in that area, just because it does take a lot of time, right? What I mean? We're really you're tied to the place, so it's kind of hard to have that idea of saying, okay, I want to open up 2-3 locations in Toronto when we're just doing a second
There's
one
only
in
one.
London,
There's only two.
and it's only us, right? So we need somebody almost that's from that.
Yeah, from the area, has the money to help open
that
it.
lives there, and can kind of focus more while we're focusing here.
I read a thing that McDonald's is the number one. Their profits isn't from food. Their number one profit isn't from the sale of food. It's the real estate.
They're a real estate
company,
so right?
They own the land that the McDonald's is built on. Then they charge the land fees and all the mortgage and all that stuff back to the people who own the franchise. So they're making money off of the land and the building.
They buy the most expensive pieces of land
which
in
is
the world,
crazy,
right?
It's
So
smart.
So that's that. If we would love to be there. We're not quite there yet. Where we're
but you could be there.
We're
1,000%. I mean, you're coming from
that's a perfect part about
real
Jordan.
estate.
Jordan being in this. We both of us kind of have our own skill set. And he's got things he's good at. I have my things that I'm good at. And,
comes together nicely.
Yeah.
So the model that you want to do is like a scale to franchise model as opposed to a large corporate. Everything comes from the top down type of idea.
I think franchise is the best route because I kind of made up my mind when I got into this. I'm 36. I'll be 37 in December. Jordan you just turned 30.
Just turned 30.
Yeah. So he's still a young buck. I'm getting to that point where I kind of made up my mind that the next 3-4 years was going to be grind time. So that when I'm in my 40s, I can kind of chill a little bit and slow down a little bit more. So that's kind of what the franchise does, right? It frees you up a little bit to, you're kind of collecting your profits at that point, right? We'll put in the hard work for a few years to get to that point where we can kind of sit
That's
back.
a great way. It's great that you learn that even at such a young age. It takes people years of realizing that you're not gonna your overnight success is not overnight. It's 10-15 years of full-on grinding.
And it's not it's I think that's the reason that we can expand so fast is that we both have kind of just accepted the fact that we're not we're not paying ourselves a whole bunch of a bunch of money, right? I think the only things we've done for ourselves, we just bought a couple of corporate vehicles,
catering delivery vehicles.
Yeah, catering. So other than that, I'm not in this to make a quick buck, right? We were never in that for this. We're looking at it, as a 5-10 year plan where
it's smart.
Set ourselves up for life from this little business, right? So
can you tell me about the product?
Yeah, let's
dive into this chicken sandwich. So not only do you have just this chicken sandwich, this is just your basic. This was a basic crispy chicken sandwich. It's a crispy chicken sandwich with aioli. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, it'll have aioli on it. We make our own. So that's I think the biggest thing that brought me into this business, and I think Jordan as well. I can't speak for you, but I'm kind of going to right now. But we just love the food, right? And the fact that it's something that we both are proud of, right?
You should be.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We're proud of our product because of the fact that we make pretty much everything from scratch, right? All of our sauces are made from scratch. You know, we buy really high quality chicken, farm raised, organic. You know, just everything we do in there is basically from scratch. I would
veggies
say.
are cut multiple times a day. Like everything's very, very fresh.
Yeah, fresh and I would say like original, right? I mean, you know, like I mean the honey mustard on there. Right? It's a honey mustard that I've never tasted before. It's just like I'll leave I'll go in sometimes to grab something to eat, and I'll leave with 10 different, you know, just sauce things because I love our sauces that, you know, it's a unique or salad dressings or sauces, everything's pretty unique. So I think anyways. So
what's the biggest catered item?
Chicken souvlaki.
Chicken souvlaki is probably the top. I would say. I mean, our people love our gourmet sandwiches. So we do like a sandwich platter, right? So you know, if there's because of COVID, it's a little bit less on the platter side and more individually packed right now because everybody, you know, nobody wants to be sharing all their food, right? So, but before, you know, it's just, you know, you get a big tray of an assortment of sandwiches. It's great for businesses. It's great for a lot of different things, right? Any little parties, things like that. So and I think our prices are
pretty compatible for the product.
Fair.
Yeah,
honestly,
super fair prices.
So,
especially for the catering. If you look at the catering, you know, if you go, we have sometimes people that, you know, they're maybe not super happy about it, and I'll say, okay, well, go take a look around, right? Because I mean, the quality of our food and what we charge for things, I think, is
very fair.
Yeah,
what other crispy chicken sandwich? You get a crispy chicken sandwich. You get the Big Mac one.
Yeah,
Kentucky.
So that one there would have like a slaw on it. So it's got your aioli, it's got your honey mustard made from scratch, and then it's got a slaw, which would be like lettuce, like a dressing.
Yeah, Italian kind of dressing.
Yeah, with
Onion,
pickle,
jalapeno.
onion, jalapeno, and then we've got so what else we got? Big Mac.
The Kentucky. That's another big seller.
Yeah, Kentucky's a big one. That's like with pulled pork on it, coleslaw.
I saw that one day.
You're gonna have to try. There's some. See, if you think that one's big, get in on the Kentucky. It's with the size of your head.
Yeah.
I saw Sam Stout. So I was getting a haircut again.
Yeah.
He was getting his hairs up.
We're the weekly haircut type, eh?
Pretty much. and he was in getting braids done. And
those are cool.
We started talking about the sandwiches because it's a focal point in my day when I'm in that area. Hey, everybody, you get to see it. You should hire me to swing signs on the street. That's how much I love it.
You're all right, man.
And he goes, I'll go get sandwiches too, and I'll come back. So he went over, he came back with that one, which was.
Is that what he had? The Kentucky? I remember that day that
it was a pulled pork. It was. The thing was, and he's like, how are you going to even eat that?
Yeah, you need it cut in half almost. So, you know, we started a junior crispy, right? So the junior crispy is half. It's like that's a full chicken breast, right? And it's a large chicken breast as well.
Yeah, 6 ounce.
Yeah, and then we pound them out there. It's I mean, they're the size of your head, right? So a junior is still much bigger than you're going to get at, you know, a KFC or anything like that, right? And so it's half the price, and it's a little bit. Sometimes I would rather get two junior. Sometimes I would rather get two juniors, different flavors than this one, just because you know, then you can get two different types, right? But yeah, if you come in, just always ask for it cut in half if it's a little too.
No, I'm
too
good with
aggressive.
that.
I know you can eat it.
I'm a champ. I
know you're Jamie Champion.
Yeah, you know, I can crush these things. It's incredible.
You got to try something other than the crispy too, right? We do really good, like the just our regular gourmet sandwich.
Try the chicken and brie.
Chicken and brie is our top seller.
Oh man, I eat that every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So chicken and brie would be like a marinated chicken breast on a focaccia, and then it'll be our house-made cranberry aioli. Then it's got we make our own bacon jam.
Yeah, you gotta try the bacon jam.
Bacon jam's fantastic. Yes, and then it's got Granny Smith apples on it, arugula, and brie cheese.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, and it's like a sweet and savory. You'll love it. Yeah.
So in the restaurant, what roles do you guys play? You guys both doing the same job? Or are you
kind of all roles? Well, you know, Jordan's more the
more like admin kind of stuff. I do like kind of website stuff. Deal with Uber Eats, the delivery services.
He does
the paperwork.
He does payroll. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm more kind of the hands-on, I guess you could say. You know, I deal with a lot of like the employee stuff. I do more the, you know, the conversing with the catering clients and the emails and things like that.
Yeah.
And just,
And then we both put in some work in the kitchen.
Yeah.
if you, that's a funny thing, you know, I have buddies come in and they'll say, "Oh, you're working."
Well, that's what I mean.
Working,
When
man, I'm always in there. Right?
when I saw you that day, I was surprised to actually see you because I hadn't seen you in so long, and then you were like, "Hey," but I noticed your hands were all covered in like batter, you know, and you're like, "Hey, how you doing, bro? I'll come out and see you in a second." And
yeah. It's a busy place, man. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, when we're like you know, Jordan and I are pretty much hands on from usually like our lunch rushes are the craziest. I mean, we're really busy for dinner and you know, evening, but it's just the lunch is just I would say the most intense because, you know, we've got all of our corporate catering. So that's a major part of our business is just some of the head office, you know, like law firms, right? Siskin, Harrison Pence,
like a
things
TD
like
Bank
that,
or something
right?
orders at
We
Friday.
do like the TD head office.
Gotcha.
You know, we did some cool ones, right? Amazon, Lululemon. You know, we just did Centura. Is that flooring or what?
Yeah, it's a
you know,
tile
like
store.
yeah, like you know, 100. They'll do 100 people for their inventory day or whatnot, right? So I mean, you know, I just booked one, you know, Mackenzie like the lawyer, is that lawyer?
Yeah, they're a
firm?
lawyer law firm.
You know, 150 people for
Wow.
whatever they're doing, you know, Christmas parties, things like that. So, you know, sometimes we'll do 150 to 200 people before noon, you know, and then we still got our day, right?
That's
and
crazy.
Then, yeah, so it could,
And,
it could
and
be,
you don't even advertise. This is the craziest thing about it is there's no advertising.
we're kind of trying. That's what I was saying to you before, right? We're almost not advertising for that reason, in a
Yeah,
way, right?
we don't want to overload the current location.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's just, you know, it's difficult sometimes because, you know, like we'll turn away business sometimes, right? Because, you know, you have too many people. Sometimes they'll want some certain things on the same days, and it's hard to manage.
Yeah. I remember one a couple weeks ago, or probably about a month ago, that we already had a 170, and then I think an 80-person wedding on the same day, and then we had another person want to do a 150-person wedding. We're like, just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why, right? So if we have, it's more of a space thing, I would say, really, than anything. You know, it's
Literally,
just,
yeah, space
yeah, there's just only so much space in that small kitchen, so that's what's going to be so great about, you know, and I you know, again, I'm speaking for you, but once the second one's done, it'll be right onto the third one, right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
That's just how we're, you know, we're
So where do you see
ready to go.
what's the the 5-year projection? Where do you see the business in 5 years?
You want to go on that, or you want me to?
I would say I think we want to do at least a third location in another city.
Okay.
That's kind of mandatory for franchising. You kind of got to show you can operate in multiple cities to show you're successful, and then we'll do 3 locations and then try to franchise after that.
Yeah, I think that's. I think we'll be well on our way to franchising within 5 years.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what we were kind of talking about before with the other location was, we also would like to franchise out this like the Cosmos Creamery, right? So we did the joint venture with the London Ice Cream Company. Okay, so we're going to be exclusively selling their ice cream, but it's going to be Cosmos Creamery by the London Ice Cream Company. So we've already discussed it with them. You know, if we want to start franchising out our ice cream, so you know, Shaw's, right? So you buy Shaw's ice cream, you can get it. You know, you go to Shaw's, like the actual like ice cream location, right? But you can get it at a variety store. You can get it at Loblaws. You get it all these different places. Well, that's what we're trying to do with the Cosmos Creamery with the London Ice Cream Company's ice cream, right? So they've already given us the go ahead basically to franchise out their ice cream.
Wow.
Right. So they're so busy as it is, right?
Yeah.
We took a tour through.
They have a factory down on White Oaks Road.
It's surprising how much
Really?
they've got going on. I thought it was kind of a small business, but you go in there, I was impressed, right?
Yeah, I think he said he supplies over 300 ice cream shops across Canada.
Yeah, and they're worldwide as well, right?
Yeah.
They supply a lot of like sushi. What are they doing? Like
Like the green tea ice cream.
yeah, like the
Okay.
green tea, what's
I used to get a green tea ice cream after eating sushi.
mango? You know, they
Oh,
get the
so
mango,
good.
all those different. I don't know if is that ice cream. Is that what they call it, or would that be?
Yeah, I think it's still an ice cream.
Okay, yeah. So, but you know, like they supply the Mandarin,
Gotcha.
all Mandarin's ice cream. Their soft serve. You know, so I mean, how many Mandarin locations are there in Canada, right? So they're doing big things, right? So they can't deal with the retail aspect of things anymore. So that's where we're going to come in and take over the retail side of things while they're doing the
wholesaling.
Yeah, the wholesaling of the ice cream, right? So, and another thing that I guess I could open up about it on here. I haven't advertised it on social media or anything, but we've also done a joint venture with Boxcar Donuts.
Okay.
So we're going to be also selling Boxcar Donuts at that location as well, because I mean, you know, ice cream's big in the summertime, but in the wintertime, you know, it's not quite as. So we're going to do a full dessert catering location. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
it'll be a nice addition to the catering, the desserts.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's where nobody's really doing that, right? Nobody's really doing dessert catering. So you got to think. So say we cater somebody's like a bridal shower, a baby shower. Okay. So, you know, we're catering the food, but now we can also cater the dessert aspect of things, right? So, you know, it's Susie's 12th birthday, right? And there's 50 people coming. Well, they order their dinner catering through us, but now we can also supply, you know, like a, you know, say a charcuterie board with meats and cheeses. Well, now we can do charcuterie board spreads with desserts, right? Donuts, ice cream, things like that. So it'll be pretty cool. We can't get too much into it right now, but we'll
it's insane.
Yeah, so it'll be good. So that's another, you know, there could be 2 franchise possibilities there, right? So
now, with all this with not coming from the background of owning a restaurant, do you guys read books? How are you keeping up with all of this? Like, to me, it's like you guys have it all pegged. You know exactly what you're doing, where you're going with it. Where does that come from? Like, how does that, is that just a natural entrepreneurship in you wanting to grow?
I think so, yeah, just running multiple businesses prior to this.
Gotcha.
We just kind of know, I mean, it is a totally different industry, but we're still geared towards business. We still know how to run a business.
Right.
It kind of carries over
The
from
formula
other,
is pretty much...
Exactly. It carry over
same.
from other businesses we've done.
Yeah, Jordan and I both have like I said before, you know, we both have a business expansive mindset, right? So you can't, that's one thing you can't really teach. You know, it's you either kind of have it or you don't. So it's you know, that it was, you know, my friend Jordan was a strategic partner to come in because I knew he had the same kind of mindset as I had.
How important is that?
I think it's
almost everything. Yeah.
It's everything because you know the difference is if Jordan and I weren't on the same page about this, and Jordan was coming into this business to say, you know what, I need my salary every year, you know, or I need to make this much a week or this much a month, right? We wouldn't be expanding the way that we are now. We both are of the same thinking of just okay, we gotta
a lot of people probably be scared to open up a second location within the same year of jumping in the industry. But I was like, when Chris said that, I was like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah,
that's so cool. I love it.
I was raised by, you know, my dad had the expansive mindset, right? He was always, you know, he's the business guy. He was like a big thinker. My mom was a little bit, she's more, you know, the play it safe type, right? So, you know, she it's been a little bit of it's been a bit of an ordeal for her because, you know, she's, you know, even though I'm a full grown man, she's, you know, I'm still her.
Why are you
son.
taking these risks? Are you? Insane?
Yeah, exactly, right. You know, like, are you crazy? You know, it's blah, blah, you know, this is, you know, it's COVID. It's this could go wrong. That could go wrong, right? But I'm more the type, just if somebody has that outlook, I usually cut them out of my life because I don't like that, right?
You can't be around that.
No, I just you know,
it's amazing how even a family member giving you that negative advice, or not even
usually your family members that
because they think
that.
they're doing the best thing for you.
Right,
they don't want to see you fall on your face.
That's exactly it.
But right? I think taking those crazy risks of falling on your face is what makes people successful. My last guest, we were talking about just that. How sometimes like you got to take those risks that are people think you're out of your friggin' tree, and you do it, but the rewards that come from it are tenfold, but it's not the rewards of financial. It's fulfillment. It's of being able to push yourself to the point where, you know what, I'm going to take a crazy risk right now where I could lose it all.
Yeah, I can't, like, again, I can't speak for you, but for myself, I think that this has probably been one of the best years for me in my life, just because it's made me grow a lot, just in the fact that, like you just said, right? I'm not looking at it to make a quick buck. I'm looking at it more. It's not even so much about the financial aspect of it for me. It's just I've grown and I've learned a lot in the past year on just about myself and about business and about friendships, about partnership, all that. You know what I mean? We, him and I have. Sorry about that. We've had our fights. We've definitely. But I think it's just brought us closer as friends and as partners. Just we've overcome. We went through a lot of shit in the last year, and just getting to know each other and
I'm very proud of both of us. We jumped right in the fire in this industry, and we're doing very, very well.
So with COVID stuff, how did that affect? Did that affect anything?
Not as much, because we were mostly takeout, right? So it didn't really hit us too hard.
I think sorry, go ahead.
Like a lot of I know a lot of other restaurants suffered because there were a lot of dine-in, but I think we excelled during COVID.
I think that's why we are looking at expanding, is because our business is it works with COVID in a way. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. We've definitely lost money on individually packaging everything. There's a lot of costs incurred with that, right? There's just one of those boxes there that you're holding, that's what, 50 cents a box or something, so, when somebody wants, a sandwich, salad, soup, drink, so you're looking at, $2-3 in just bags, containers, things like that.
And your your presentation is always good. That's what I mean. Like when I get food from there, I got a nice solid box, nice, paper bag where it gets over there, but you know what I mean. It's not just here out the door and gone. And it's
funny. I actually ate at McDonald's last night for the first time in a while, and it's funny. You go to these places and you see they're just billion-dollar businesses, but there's not much care. No, there's not too much care. They don't really care about how things come out, and just the appearance, and him and I both we need to be proud of what we're doing, right?
100%.
So it's
well, it shows in the product. It shows, because I've never even had a bad sandwich from there. So you go to Tim Hortons, for example, and you get a coffee. It's never the same. I get a coffee one day and a coffee another day. It is never the same. When I go here, I know I get. So when I talk about this and I preach about it to people, saying like, "Hey, man, try this, try this, try this," they're not going to be let down. And that's why I was so drawn to you guys, because I was like, "This is incredible. I can see this being gigantic. I can see this being North America wide. I can see something like this being even worldwide."
So can we?
Because the product speaks for itself. So to see two, local restaurateurs go through this process of not cheaping out on shit, and not people pay for quality. And that is everything. For me, when I want something, it's got to be quality. It can't be low quality, because then you're not going to have me anymore. You may have me 1 or 2 times, but you'll get loyalty with quality as well.
And I think that's why we don't need to advertise, because people can't. It's like you, right? You came once, right? Your friend recommend, or Sam, right? He recommended you to come in there. You try a sandwich. If you try it, you're going to come back most of the time, right? Guaranteed. And we're very confident in that once you try the food, that you're going to become a loyal customer and fan of the place, right?
Absolutely. So fan is the great way to put it.
Fan's the word, right?
Because that's what it is. It's a fanship.
There was such a following before, right? That's why I knew it was going to be a successful business. The tough part for us is that because of COVID, we haven't even fully been able to fully grow in the way that that they probably could have before, just for the simple aspect of before it was so many Western students, so many different people that would just come in, and they'd come in and eat, and it would be just such a cool atmosphere in there. I just remember it so clearly, just going in there and there'd be 20, 30 university students sitting at a big spread table and having this crazy meal, right? We can't quite do that anymore, but we still have that same kind of cult following in a way. You know, it's just you know, you go in there, where our bathrooms are, right? People used to be able to sign the walls and the doors and things like that, right? And it's just, you should see it, just so many. I'm gonna do that we'll do that at the new location too, right? We'll have a wall where everybody can come in and sign. But yeah,
tradition, like a tradition.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
You gotta see it, right? And people just love the place, right? And so I loved it too. So I knew.
And so did you. And
It's part of London.
That's what got me. Yeah.
It's definitely.
I can't believe it took me so long to discover.
It's kind of a landmark downtown, right? It really is. So, we're hoping that we can have that landmark feel in different cities, right?
Yeah.
So, it'll take a little time, right? When we were kind of walking through the business with the guys originally, they were talking to us about, it took us a year or two to really get to that, making thousands of dollars a day, right? Because it took, they had to put in that time to get that following. So I'll always be very grateful of what they built before. We're on this interview with you right now. We've gotten a lot of, we're in the newspaper, things like that. But we can't take full credit for starting this business, right? Because the guys and the whole family, they just did a great job before. So we're blessed to have walked into a successful business, and now we can just we hope to make them proud and everyone else proud of just what we can do now with the business.
Because you guys have a great mindset.
Yeah,
you guys have an excellent mindset.
Yeah, thanks.
How do people find you? Where can they find you on social media and all your credentials? How does someone go and get themselves a chicken burger?
So that you can Instagram, it would be Kosmo's London, I believe.
Kosmos with a K.
Yeah,
Kosmo's with a K.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And
what's the meaning behind that name? Do you know?
It means friends in Greek, I think.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I
Look
didn't.
at that. You learn something new
I'm
every day.
learning about my own business. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the name is a franchise name too,
Sure it
right?
is.
So it's just
Yeah.
maybe I'll get it tatted on me or something.
I can leather jackets.
Yeah, it's just it's everything about the business I was drawn to before, So I like when I think I'd be kicking myself for the rest of my life if we didn't jump at the opportunity when it was first presented to us.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And you can always just thank me forever for bringing me in as my
Yeah, of course.
But and I could thank him for a lot of things too, because he's, like I said, we both got our own skill set, and we know what we're good at and what we're not good at, and I know what I excel at and what I don't, and he knows what he excels at, what he doesn't, and so we just kind of play our roles that way, right?
See, it's great. I see. It's so cool to see you guys say that, because again, my last interview that I had was the same process, was putting your aces in their places. So knowing who's does what their strengths are, but knowing how to manage everybody's strengths all together. I do the same thing, stuff with the fights. I know I have certain guys that their job is to do that, but matchmaking, for example, or production or cameras, like there's producers, like there's guys who know exactly what to do, and it's a matter of managing everybody to make it successful. And
I think that's Jordan and I both have it's funny because I was talking about my mom earlier and how my dad was very, easygoing. My mom was a little bit more, I think I'm easygoing, but I definitely have that. I get, if I care about things, right? So if I really care, then I get very, what's the word? Emotional, anxious, things will give me anxiety, I'll just, I get very involved in it, right? So and Jordan's a little bit better at, kind of being more even kilter. So, I think that's what we both bring to the business, is that, like I said before, we've had our fights and our arguments. And I think what I respect the most about Jordan is the fact that he's very, like you said, you're even kilter. He doesn't get emotional like I do as much, right? So it kind of balances me out, and maybe I balance him out a bit, because I put in things maybe that he's lacking, and he does the same thing for me, right?
It's a good mesh.
Yeah, I think we're a good mesh together, and even though we've had our bumps in the road, I think we get through it pretty well together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Wow. What kind of advice would you give somebody going into a partnership with somebody who they've never been partners before?
Do you want to go or you want to?
That's a hard one to answer.
Yeah, I think I got. Go ahead.
I guess just make sure you know the person decently first.
Yeah.
Don't jump in with somebody you don't know.
Yeah, I think what I would say is, and make sure you're bringing in someone for the right reasons, right? I mean, if we were looking at, if say, all of a sudden Jordan had an opportunity to start a business, or I had another opportunity to start a business, right? You don't always look for the person maybe that, say this person says, oh, I'm going to bring in this amount of money, right? It's a financial thing that they're bringing to the table. Or this person says, I'm going to work 80 hours a week, right? And they're going to bring the labor into the equation, right? Whatever they're bringing in, just make sure it's the right thing for you and for the future of your business and for expanding, because I think that's what we have done for each other, is that we kind of get each other, I think,
Yeah.
and we know we both have the same outlook on where we want to take the business, right? So if you're in a business, right, and you're bringing in a partner, and you're all of a sudden going to say, okay, I'm going to bring somebody in and I'm going to give them 50% of my business. Well, if they don't want to be a franchise, or if they don't want to do the same things with the business, well, you're going to run into so many problems. You know what I mean? Like at least with you and I, we want the most out of it, right? I don't think I would be okay to not make money for 5 years on the business, as if I knew that
Eventually
we're expanding, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think you're kind of the same way, right?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I think a lot of people probably would have been hesitant about doing a second location within a year, but we were both like full ready to go for it.
And again, at the second location, right? It's almost double what our cost is at this location, right? So that's again, where my mom would have been like, what, are you crazy? What do you what are you doing? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? But I look at it as in a way of, okay, like, yes, it's say double our cost on things, but we're in a location that's 3 times the size. We're in an area that's 3 times as busy. You know what I mean? Where we can do this much more in catering. We can do this much more. We got 3 times the seating capacity. All these different things that,
It all kind of just makes sense.
So, yeah, it's and I can really see the. Even though the ice cream is no part of our business right now, I can see that taking off, especially in that location. Because if you go to that area of the city, there just isn't anything like that over there. Do you know what I mean? There's no place where you got to think like, okay, you have kids, don't you, Jamie? So you go to, I'm sure you've been to Shaw's, or you've driven by it when you go out to Port Stanley or whatever, right? So if a family or somebody, they want ice cream, they're gonna drive. It doesn't matter, right? Sure. It doesn't. They'll drive half hour. They'll drive.
I've driven there just for ice cream.
Exactly, right. I mean, I love sushi, right? So I mean, a friend of mine owns Midori Sushi in Grand Bend. It's probably the best sushi around, right? You'll drive an hour for it if you want to have that experience of going to a place and having that sit down and what you're looking for, right? So we knew that's kind of what. If you have something good, if you like, again, London Ice Cream Company, right? If you've got the quality, like you just said about the chicken sandwich, right? You're gonna drive, even though maybe a lot of people don't want to come downtown. Well, they'll drive down for something that they love, and so
absolutely,
that's what I want people to love. What they're, that maybe that'll be our slogan, like love what you eat, right? And I mean, we love what we're.
Great. I like that. You just
and we love what we're putting out there, right?
Yeah, it shows.
So that's what we really want to do with the ice cream and the dessert aspect of things too. And one thing we haven't really talked about or put out there is that in this location, I don't know if you've ever seen the building, but we want to put a rooftop patio on that as well. So. It's gonna be cool over there. I'm excited about it.
You sound excited about it.
I think
I like that.
I was really excited about it, and then kind of things have kind of
keeps getting better.
Yeah,
as we keep looking at
it.
But
we had a bit of time, right, because of COVID, and the architectural approvals and engineering approval. It's kind of, I was super excited, and then we had a little bit of a lull
Because
where
it's
it was
got to
like
be zoned for food. and all
Right,
that stuff.
exactly,
Is that
right.
a
So
lengthy process?
It's been a little, it's been a bit of a wait.
3 month. You know, we're definitely behind schedule of where we thought that we would be. We kind of thought we'd be opening by the new year, but we're maybe going to be starting construction by the new year, right? So, but it is what it is, you know. And you know, one thing about life is just you got to trust the timing of your life, right? And so I think that timing just. You gotta trust the process, right? And so I think, you know, everything will work out exactly how it should, and you know, I think it just whatever this delay, it's just exactly how it should have been, and we'll crush it when we're ready to go. So
As you will. Well, you have my support.
Thanks, buddy.
1,000%.
Yeah,
Good to hear.
I can't turn this away.
we're super excited. You know, we're pretty. You know, we're really excited to, you know, be on here and to be, you know, there's been a lot of opportunities that have come with this business that's pretty neat for us.
I'm honored that you guys would come on, and when I asked you and I knew, you know, how busy you were and how you know hard it is to, you know, I know he's got to run because you guys got some catering and stuff to do, so I won't hold you up too long.
It's okay.
So Cosmos on Instagram, so it's Cosmos.
I think it's Cosmos London.
Here, I can check it out.
We'll find it to eat it.
Yeah.
What's that?
What's the address?
So
It
people
is
come here to get food.
551 Richmond Street. It's Unit 4. Okay, so if you drive downtown, anybody, it's the best way I can describe
Close
it
to
to
Albert
people.
Street.
So Albert Street. Yeah, what's the next? What's the
Albert
Clarence?
Kent.
Okay, Kent. But what's
Yeah.
what's the street that's like intersecting across the road that would go? Is that
Center?
Angel?
Oh yeah, Angel. Yeah.
Okay, so
okay.
Angel. So if you're driving downtown, the best way that I always describe it to people is if you're driving downtown, where the crosswalk is the rainbow crosswalk. Okay, so when you're driving it, you always see like when you drive, there's the crosswalk where the lights are right downtown, right by Jack's, and it's like a rainbow crosswalk, right? And so our door basically connects to that rainbow crosswalk. So we're right in the heart of the city. We're right downtown. We're, you know, the best part about our business is that. You know, right now it's a little bit of a slower time, but in the summertime, you know, we haven't even got to take advantage of some of the best parts of what their business was. I mean, you know, when Food Fest was going on and Sunfest and, you know, all these different things, I mean, they would have a tent. I think they said for Sunfest or Food Fest, I think I think it was like 1,500 chicken sandwiches in like a day or two, right? So I mean, that's a $30,000 weekend. You know, like I mean, I shouldn't really get into like, but you know what I'm trying. I mean,
but it just makes that's how you think.
We're missing some of the biggest aspects of this business. So I mean, the fact that we are expanding so quickly and we've missed out on some of these major, you know, money making events and things that they did before is pretty cool for us, you know. So we're excited about it, you know.
I'm pumped for 2022.
Proud of ourselves too, I would say.
Yeah.
you know?
You should be.
So
Before we go, what kind of advice would you give you guys if you can go back a year with what you've got out of it so far?
you know, go ahead.
I almost wouldn't change anything, man. Like, I mean, there's obviously some bumps in the road, but I think it's turned out very well for our first year in the business, and yeah, I wouldn't really change too much going back.
I think same with me. You know, we maybe I would tell myself to maybe relax a little bit more. I mean, I think right at the start it was, you know, it was stressful, right? I think we've really come into our own. I think over this time, and we've learned to I don't know, we handle things a little bit better, right? At the start, it was stressful, man. I mean, you got to think like you're you know, I remember our first day that we opened. It was busy, you know. It can be like busy, extreme in there sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's but I think for myself, like, I love it, you know. It's hard to explain, but you know, him and I both, we worked for ourselves for a long time. So we didn't really like work that hard. So now that I enjoy the grind, you know what I mean? I enjoy those crazy, super busy times because it teaches you something about yourself. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just, I've really come into my own. I think you have too.
Yeah, it's satisfying at the end of the day.
Or like I said, you know, we're proud of ourselves. You know, it's funny. You sleep really well at night when you work hard, you know, and you exert yourself through the day. And you know, that's the type of person I am, you know, with working out and a lot of different things. So it's just, it feels good what we're doing. You know what I mean? And so, you know, especially when like you know, you especially when you hear from people how much they love the place and whatever, you know, it's satisfying, you know. I'm proud of what we're doing, you know, and so
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
yeah,
Amazing.
thanks.
Okay, we'll wrap this up. Our special guest again, thank you for coming in.
Thanks, brother.
Chris and Jordan from Cosmos. The best chicken sandwiches I have ever eaten in the entire planet. And I'm not just saying it because I think everybody, I can't wait for my producer to try it. That's why I'm like, oh,
I know,
it's
poor
fantastic.
guys are sitting here with their food getting cold.
It's okay. It's totally worth it. I'm salivating.
Yeah.
You guys are the man.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the man, bro.
Thank you.
You're a great guy. I appreciate you having us on.
Let's do it
pretty
again.
honored.
Let's do it
thank you.
again when
Yeah.
we get the second location.
Second
Yeah, yeah,
location.
100%.
Let's
Yeah,
talk about those things, and
definitely.
it's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay,
Take
cheers.
care.